So these are Jake's golden eating tidbits. I was going to take a bite of the apple for the video, but I've not put it into my daily calories. So, it's featuring Spike. So here we are from Jake's kitchen, because that just makes sense with it being nutritional advice. So first rule, or our first piece of advice is calories. Calories are entirely individual to you. Going online, you might see that maybe some people say to build muscle you need to eat 3,000 calories a day, 4,000 calories a day, sometimes 5,000 calories a day. Mate, that's less than ideal. Most of us ain't gonna get that much in. The truth about calories is they are solely based on you. So that's your activity levels, your general day-to-day lifestyle, your age, gender even. It's entirely subjective and it depends on what your personal goals are. So when it comes to calories, the best thing you can try and do is work out how many calories roughly you use in a day, and depending on your goals, you're either going to want to eat at that level, slightly above that level, or slightly below that level. Especially anybody suggesting that you go very low on calories or very high on calories, this is very bad advice. And number two is protein intake. Now, the government's going to tell you that for an average adult, you want to get about 50 grams a day. Now, that's what the government guidelines say, so if you're after a government guidelines level physique like this, then that's perfectly acceptable. But for those of you that are athletically minded, you'll be better off getting around 1.5 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Now, this might change depending on the individual and their goals, but this is a good baseline level, so at least 1.5 per kilogram is good. Animal sources of protein are considered complete or quality. Now, quality is kind of a bad word because it's a bit of a, you get a mishmash of words. Really, there isn't necessarily good quality and bad quality, there's just complete and incomplete. So if you're a plant muncher like myself, then you might have to look a little bit more at the amino acid profile of the proteins you get, particularly of leucine, because that is indicative of muscle growth. So my third point is eating mostly whole foods over processed foods. What is a whole food? This right here, this is a whole food. If we look at the ingredients list on the back, it says here 100% banana. I'm being sarcastic, but yeah, pretty much any whole food is something that comes in its quote unquote natural form. It doesn't have any much like added ingredients and stuff. A lot of your processed food is going to come with extra salt, extra sugar. It'll have a long list of ingredients that you don't really know what any of them mean. Some of them might be a little bit suspect. Generally, as a health and as a general fitness goal, generally whole foods are better. Phone's on a bit of a wonk. Better because they are generally more nutritious and your body is going to thank you, trust me. But yeah, processed food is okay a little bit at the time, not all the time. Number four is choose your carbohydrates and fat sources wisely. What do I mean by this? Well, for carbohydrates, there are what are called simple or refined carbs, and then there are complex carbohydrates. Simple and refined is generally stuff like sugar, white bread, you know, the sort of stuff that you know is not really good for you. And then complex is sort of like, you know, your brown bread, whole grain, anything with whole grain is pretty good, veggies, fruit. This basically means that they're going to have a smaller impact on your blood sugar, which, you know, can be good in terms of like thinking about diabetes and stuff. They do have their place though, pre, intra and post workout. My PT course provider actually said the Jaffa cakes are a very suitable workout snack. Take that as you will. Fats, stay away from too much saturated fat. You know the spiel. Unsaturated fat's better. Get your omega-3s in and you'll be sound. So fifth and final point is on eating your greens. Now, government recommends you get 5 a day. Personally, I think this is really undercutting it. Myself, I get easily 10 to 15 each day, and even then I think I could probably still eat more. For the most part, for general people, plants, eat more of them. They're good for you, they're good for everyone. There's only very specific individuals, like those with allergies, food intolerances, that might have to be careful. Also those with maybe stomach issues, with too much fibre can also be an issue. But as a general rule, eating more fruit and veggies, you can't really go wrong, especially vegetables. So that was my, do you mind? Can you not see there's a professional at work here? Can't get staff these days, man. Anyway, there was 5 very general, basic ideas about nutrition. Now, I think if you can follow these, you'll be doing most of it right anyway. There's not really that much more to it. A lot of people complicate things by saying there's all these specific foods you have to eat, but really, it all comes down to the right macronutrients, a decent micronutrient profile, and getting your protein and calories in. That's literally it. Yeah, so it's a very general, basic overview. I'll probably do a more detailed one soon, but I hope this maybe gave you some ideas about how maybe you can improve your own diet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.